Hi there, folks. Sean Broderick, and I'm here in Vancouver. I'm at the Sprott-Stansberry Natural Resource Symposium, but I'm also taking some time out to speak to some other great miners because this is a town you come to when you want to speak to the best miners. Darin Wagner, CEO of Balmoral Resources, is one of the great exploration companies that we really have to look at. You and I have been speaking for years now, right? And started out as a high-grade gold developer with this beautiful, nuggety gold that was so great. And then last year, you made like an amazing discovery, which has nothing to do with gold. Could you tell my subscribers about
Sure.
that?
Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes you get lucky, so we had acquired this project principally for gold, and in that process, we're following up on a second discovery. We had the high grade one at Martinair. We had a second one second high grade one at a property called Grissett. We drilled a couple of holes into that and got some pretty good sniffs, and we were looking for scale, so we were doing broad, sort of half-kilometer, 500-meter space step-outs. The second of those tagged a zone of nickel mineralization, nickel, copper, platinum, palladium, gold, which was a bit of a surprise to us, to be honest, because there's nothing like it in this district. So it was really the first of its kind.
It's a nice rich belt, but it's a gold belt.
Yeah, it's dominantly a gold belt. There are some, hundreds of kilometers away elsewhere in the belt, there are some other former producing nickel mines, but in this area was the first discovery of its type. So we, kind of sunk our teeth into that in May of last year, and we had a great run on the back of that discovery. Fantastic, for the shareholders. And so basically from May of this year till this point in time, we've been moving both projects forward, both on the gold side and on the nickel side. The nickel project is we're just doing our final definition drilling for the initial resource. It's moved that fast. So it's been an exciting, it's been an exciting 12 months in a less than exciting overall resource market for the company and its shareholders. But so now we are blessed with two good discoveries: a really high grade gold system at Martinair, and this fantastic new nickel discovery. Plus the upside of it being the first in the belt, and we control the entirety of the belt. So we own 700 square kilometers. We basically go halfway across. Well, probably all the way across New York and New Jersey in terms of scale of project. So it's a big project and a lot of upside to it.
Up in Quebec, we should mention, by the way,
That's
and
right.
there's some very undeveloped places, and that's where he is right now. But you also have good infrastructure and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that becomes really important with the nickel discovery. So you've got to move a concentrate at the end of the day. So you actually have to be able to take trucks out of your project site. Nice part is the nickel discovery literally sits underneath the road. So we drive there every day. We sit at the rail. The railhead's only about 50 kilometers away. Power line's currently about 20 kilometers away. But we can drive to everything. So if you can drive in, you can drive out, which obviously, if we're trying to ship things out, is pretty key. So plus you're sitting in a province in Quebec that is favorably inclined to mining, where the First Nations are favorably inclined to mining. They're great people to work with, and where the ability to raise capital, move mining projects forward, even in tough mining markets, is doable. So yeah, it's it's got sort of best of all worlds wrapped around it at a time when the nickel market looks like it might be one of the few bright spots we have to look forward in the latter half of this year.
Well, I'm actually glad that you brought that up because you and I were speaking earlier, and there are some good gold projects there on the shelf, but there aren't many nickel projects, isn't that right?
It's a it always is. It's always a space where there are very few quality assets available. So if you're a nickel producer looking for a project, it's not like you have your pick of 100 projects. Any given time, depending on your criteria, you might have 5 or 6 to pick from. And this as a high grade nickel sulfide asset with good infrastructure in a great jurisdiction, with the exploration upside of us controlling the entirety of the district, really puts it sort of on a shelf where there are hardly anything else there. So it's for us the balance of this year is about getting the metallurgical work, tell you how this recovers, how good it is. When it gets out the back end, and about putting some parameters on size. So the resource definition drilling is ongoing, and we're looking to print the first resource on it in the fourth quarter here. And in the background of that, you have this poor little 8-gram gold project that we don't get to talk nearly
8
enough
grams
about.
of gold, which is very nice. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you have a nice, broad nickel deposit, which you'll have your resource estimate probably by the end of the year,
Yes,
right?
sure. Yeah.
And then you just keep drilling on the gold project, and so you have these multiple things. Plus, you have cash in the bank, not burning it too fast, so a nice situation. You just actually need the markets to turn around and things to improve.
I think we saw last year. The nickel price had a run. Had a good run in the middle of last year, just after we made the discovery, and our stock went up 600%.
Mm-hmm.
And since then the nickel price has backed off to almost half of what it was at that point, and the stock has come back down. But it's done it in conjunction with the metal price. So if we can get some wind in the sails of the commodities, in particular for us, I think nickel and obviously gold, then that element's already set in place. It's already there, and then it's just then it's up to us to add more scale, more size, maybe make some new discoveries, because that's what we do. You said earlier, that's really what we do. We're explorers by nature. So we'll still take 15% or so of our exploration budget this year, our total budget this year, will go into new opportunities for people, for our shareholders, because that's still, we saw again last year, even a tough market, you still get bang for good quality discoveries like the Grisette nickel zone. So it's all about for us, we're still working, we're still out there with the drills, we're still finding things, we're still making things happen, and and we will continue to do that. Tough resource market or not, we've got good strong group of shareholders behind us, and we're out there turning drills and growing our assets.
Good. Well, the stock symbol is a BAR on the TSX. So you go to the bar on the TSX. That's where you'll find Balmoral and Darin, and certainly one that is worth a look, and one that we'll be taking a closer look at as well. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
I'll just give the folks the OTCQX symbol, which is BALMF, for you folks down in the States. And no, I think we look forward to the milestones to come here over the next 3-4 months on the nickel side and the gold side, and some exploration holes. We just might have a surprise or two in store for people over as the summer wears on. So
okay, cool. We'll stay tuned. Thanks very much for speaking to my subscribers. You folks, thanks for tuning in. Sean Broderick from Vancouver. I hope you find these interesting. There is a lot of interesting stuff going on. Balmoral is one of those interesting stories. Thanks very much.